I just want to let you know that I haven't given up on Elizabeth just yet.
You can do whatever you want. But you better make good sure that you have Elizabeth's and Allie's best interests at heart. Not your own. Lucas, save it!
In the first half of the episode, if you watch very carefully, especially in the beginning of the episode, you can see Nathan riding away from Elizabeth, and Lucas called out to Nathan, and Nathan told Lucas to save it with an attitude. And now, in return, Lucas gave the same attitude to Nathan, but for a good reason. I'm just like, bravo, like, it's good. Lucas is standing up for himself against Nathan, especially how Nathan had been treating him, and like Nathan never really treated Lucas right. And you can see Nathan was so surprised at the end of the scene. He's like, oh geez, like, oh like, okay, Lucas really does have the fire inside of him to fight back to Nathan. Nathan said, I just wanted to let you know that I haven't given up on Elizabeth. For me, from my perspective, I'm just like, that's completely rude, because first of all, you already know that Lucas and Elizabeth went out a few times. I mean, maybe not every date that they went on, but you know that they're getting closer, like they are a couple. They don't really show off too much in front of the public, and of course in front of Nathan, like out of respect. But Nathan already knows that Lucas and Elizabeth are becoming a real couple, and they're on that level, and he got friend zoned by Elizabeth in the beginning of season 8, right? So it's just Nathan pushing it on Lucas and Elizabeth, and it's really sad though that Nathan is rubbing it off on Lucas, you know what I mean? Like, Nathan and Elizabeth already had that conversation, and Elizabeth said no to him. He's like getting Lucas involved in this love drama, and it's, of course, it's getting to Lucas' nerve, and he's getting tired of it. He definitely just wants to focus on his relationship with Elizabeth, but unfortunately right now Nathan is a huge roadblock in his relationship with Elizabeth. Even though Lucas doesn't really like the situation right now with Nathan, he's still here for Allie and Elizabeth, like especially Allie. Like, he didn't really have to say that, but it showed that he really here for Allie too, because he's like, Allie is just a kid, and she doesn't really understand the whole picture of dating and whatnot, and she doesn't know the whole story of what's going on between Nathan, Lucas, and Elizabeth. So it just shows that Lucas considers Allie a part of this situation. And of course, Lucas doesn't want anything major happen that can cause Allie to be not mentally stable. And Allie should have been out of this since the beginning, but unfortunately, Allie is involved in this love triangle in some ways. So yeah, it's not a great love triangle situation, but kudos to Lucas for standing up for himself in this scene.
Oh my goodness. Another invitation?
Don't worry. Uncle Nathan and I talked about what happened at Judge Avery's. It was wrong that neither of you knew that you were the only ones I'd invited. And I'm sorry.
You can see Elizabeth in the beginning, she was nervous to grab the heart away from Allie's hands, because she knows that maybe Allie's up to something, because the previous invitation that Allie gave to Elizabeth was about the adoption ceremony, and Allie did not tell Elizabeth that she was the only one that got invited to the ceremony as a guest.
Allie, are you aware that I'm seeing Mr. Bouchard?
Pretty much knew that even before Uncle Nathan told me.
Oh.
I should get going.
One of the things that still mind-blowing to me watching it back. So Elizabeth asked Allie if she knew that Elizabeth was seeing Lucas, like, dating. And this was after Allie already gave the heart to Elizabeth. And Allie said, she knew, and she knew before even Nathan or Elizabeth told her about it. And the heart is already in Elizabeth's hands. So if I was Allie, I would have been like, I don't know, like, I probably would have been like, took the heart back and fully apologize about the heart, before Elizabeth opened it. But it's just like, it's really rude from Allie's standpoint. Like, you're giving it heart that inside is asking your teacher to go to dinner with your uncle, already knowing that your teacher is seeing someone else. So it's just like, it's still like, it's just like, how can you do that? And Allie is at an age that she knows stuff, you know what I mean? So, and she knows what's right and what's wrong, and she's doing something wrong, and she knew that, in this scene. So it aggravated me, because I was like, you already know that Lucas and Elizabeth are seeing each other, but you still had the gut to take that heart with you to school and hand it to your teacher. The principle behind it is just wrong. Like, to me, it's wrong.
Allie, wait. This is beautiful. And you clearly worked very hard on it. But I won't be coming to dinner tonight.
Another little plan that Allie came up with to force Elizabeth to go out with her uncle, and it was just so wrong.
Laura said she could babysit. Well, if you want, you can even bring little Jack.
I'm sorry, Allie, no. Please just try to understand. Why don't you sit down and we can talk?
Fine, don't come. I don't care.
Allie, wait! Please, Allie!
And the way that she took the heart back and ripped it in half in front of her teacher, that, like, not only that was dramatic and so rude, but it just, like, showed that she doesn't really respect her teacher like that, and that she doesn't respect Elizabeth and Lucas dating right now, and she just doesn't understand the whole picture. Like, she doesn't know everything about the love triangle, but it just shows that she just doesn't respect, and when something is not going her way, she just get upset and do stupid little things and walk away. Really sad that Elizabeth did offer to talk more about it with Allie, and if Allie, calmed down and think twice and accepted the offer and sat down with Elizabeth to talk about it, it would have been a different outcome. But of course the writers wanted it to be a dramatic moment between Allie and Elizabeth. But I guess it's a good thing that this happened, because then it's motivated Elizabeth to say out loud, like, she said no to Allie. Even though she already said no to Nathan, she said no to Allie, and it just finished it off. But at the same time, though, Elizabeth don't need to work on with Nathan, especially with the fourth-place secret, and it's just to finish it off with Nathan for good, and just to, like, tell Nathan, like, I don't want to date you. Like, how can you not understand?
I need to speak with Allie.
She's at home. And honestly, right now, she's afraid to speak to you without me there.
Afraid?
The way Nathan said that she is afraid to talk to Elizabeth, I feel like, I don't know if it's true, because the way that Allie ripped that heart in half and walk away, I feel like she would still be super mad at Elizabeth. If Nathan said Allie doesn't want to talk to you right now, you know, I guess it will make more sense to me. But the way he said it, like, she's afraid to talk to you, I'm just like, I don't know about that. Unless she, like, thought about what happened and realized her mistake and she's embarrassed to talk to Elizabeth and make it right. I don't know. I thought it was the odd choice of words that Nathan said in this moment. I feel bad for Lucas. Lucas kept, like, looking over. He knows that after that conversation with Nathan not giving up on Elizabeth, of course, it's gonna stir up some fire inside of Lucas, and, you know, he's stressed out too, and he's like, when will this ever end?
I was afraid this would happen if things didn't work out between us.
I don't know what to tell you. I tried to talk to her. No matter what I say to her, I can't convince her that you're not the one to be blamed.
Well, that's how it should be. She should blame me. She loves you.
Everyone has a free will to make choices in life, right? So Elizabeth had the freedom to pick Lucas or Nathan. But Elizabeth said Allie should blame her teacher, Elizabeth, because not only Allie loves her uncle and wants to support him and cheer him on to date Elizabeth, it's just the way that it happened, like, Allie is upset and she hurt, and not only Nathan is hurt, it's Allie hurt too. So Elizabeth, I guess Elizabeth trying to say good both ways. She's like, blame on me too. I mean, I should, unfortunately, you know, I can't date you, Nathan. Like, I don't want to date you. I want to be friends, and with your niece, Allie too. I'm still gonna be your friend, but you're not, you know, give you what you want, what Nathan and Allie desire, which was to be a family with Elizabeth and little Jack, and Elizabeth cannot offer that. So I guess Elizabeth trying to say that it goes both ways, and that the way that Elizabeth took a long time to make it clear to both Allie and Nathan, like, it took a while for Elizabeth to release her honesty to Allie, to tell her firmly, telling her that she dating Lucas, and the timing of it, the moment of it, it just was all a mess, and Elizabeth see her fault in this situation, even though Allie was rude to her at the school, but there was some fault from Elizabeth's side in handling this situation, and not being able to prevent this drama from not happening. Like she said earlier, I'm afraid this will happen, and Allie is not afraid to talk to me, and it's a bigger mess than what she wanted.
I tried to tell you at Allie's parent-teacher conference. You are her rock. You are her foundation. If you let her down, her whole world crumbles.
I know.
From what I'm seeing, Elizabeth just basically trying to encourage Nathan to be a better parent, I guess, to just to fix it with Allie, because Nathan is truly the foundation in Allie's life. If Nathan is not stable in his personal life, Allie would not be stable in her personal life. So that foundation have to be solid. The foundation of this family need to be solid and firm, and need to be on the right track. And it's a good reminder from Elizabeth.
It's part of the reason why I'm trying my best not to show you how I feel about it. It's why I turned down the promotion to inspector. Because believe me, there's nothing I would have welcomed more than to leave here. But Allie finally started putting down roots somewhere. She made friends. She felt safe here.
Yeah, I can see Nathan staying in Hope Valley just because of Allie. Like, I support that. But it's really sad, though, at the same time, that he is still struggling to move on and to accept the reality that Elizabeth dating Lucas. But on the other hand, he's still disrespectful to Elizabeth. Like, he's still, like, trying to say, like, oh, yeah, I have feeling for you. I'm not trying to, like, show it to you, I'm not trying to tell you, but even though he's not showing it, by saying it, it's like it makes it worse. And Elizabeth just like, oh boy, like, you know, here we go again. I already told you no. And if I was Elizabeth, I would be uncomfortable and just really stressed out in this moment.
At Fort Clay, I was the one that was supposed to lead the training mission, not Jack.
And Nathan's first reaction, it looked so sad. He looked so sad, like he really didn't want to, and he kept repeating the beginning of his sentences, and you know that he had a difficult time to start saying some words and to finish the rest of the sentence, but he really didn't want to tell her. But you know, it was the moment, I guess, you know, and he finally said it.
I was disciplined for an earlier incident, and your husband, Jack, replaced me.
And Elizabeth was shocked, she was surprised. I think she was heartbroken because not only she cherished her friendship with Nathan and Allie, like she adored them and she loved on them so much since they came to Hope Valley. Like she been so supportive of this family, and Nathan telling her that is just like, it's like stab in the back. I don't know if that's the right metaphor, the right phrase to describe it, but it's just like, damn, like you've been hiding this from me. Yeah, I can understand why Nathan waited that long, but on the other hand, it's been too long. And he should have told her, I would say within the season 6 episodes, he should have told her since then.
I'm sorry, Elizabeth. There was just never the right time to tell you. I wanted to.
But now it's just like a huge step back in the friendship now, and of course Elizabeth gonna need time and space away from Nathan after this happened. Nathan had that big guilt in his heart, and it's something that he needs to work on with himself. Like in real life, you know, if you're going through something like that Nathan going through, there's a lot to process and a lot to forgive yourself and move on. But on the other hand, like, I understand Elizabeth, where she's coming from. She's like, my husband should have been alive. I think that would have been her first thought. Like, if it wasn't you, Nathan, that if you didn't do what you did, like, my husband wouldn't have been picked to lead the training, and it would have been you. But if the universe, you know, switched back and, you know, had Jack not go, right, and Nathan went to that training, I mean, Nathan could have, you know, get killed, right, and then Allie would have no one, like no family member, a really good family member to look after her. So it's just like pros and cons. Second thought, I think she would have, like, you freaking did not tell me until now. Like, I would be mad too if I was her. Yeah, so it's just like that moment of clarity, like, you know, my husband should have, you know, been alive. And then the second would be like it's conclusion. Like, she finally have like a conclusion of what really happened in Fort Clay. And then the third would be her anger toward Nathan. It goes both ways again, but at the same time it's really sad, because just like they are friends, you know, and now it's just like a huge step back in the friendship. And Lucas probably thinking like something else going on, you know, like, oh no, Nathan is getting a chance again, you know. But Lucas doesn't really know what just happened. And, you know, it's really tough because Lucas can have that downfall of his confidence in himself. I feel bad for Lucas to have looking over. And what a moment, you know, what a moment for Nathan to say this in public during that celebration for Mountie Bill. Unbelievable. That's the end of episode 8 of season 8. I feel like there's so much to happen in the second half of this episode, especially the last scene. Crazy. Feel free to drop down below your thoughts, your analysis of this second half of this episode. Before I forget, I apologize for the comment section lately. Ever since I started season 8, YouTube started shutting off the comment box in my videos. It's really weird, so it keeps going on and off. I try my best to keep an eye out and switch it back on so you guys have the chance to share your thoughts. I apologize for that. Thank you so much for your support. If you've been watching up to this point, love to you. This still have been a fun journey with you, and I can't wait to see you most likely next week after Christmas. I hope you have a very merry and happy Christmas with your family and friends. I have Friday off before, so it will be a really nice long weekend for me. Enjoy Christmas, and I'll see you next week with episode 9 of season 8. Bye.